Scott from Edge Specialist Advice Network. Hope you're all well. And this is another little section of the series that we're doing in relation to our information for helping clients who want to have a retirement lifestyle that is a hybrid in their own country and also overseas in a country that has a high lifestyle but a lower cost lifestyle. The clients that I talk to know that I'm becoming quite passionate about doing that so that we can reach clients' goals in relation to the lifestyle that they want in retirement. And often if you're from a Western country, your country is very expensive and it's going to be very difficult to have that lifestyle when you're paying the expensive costs. One of the questions we had in relation to how do I do this, Scott, was when we talked about that to fund living overseas, 3 months in a year. Perhaps an easy way to do that was to Airbnb your own house out in your own country. And I would think that if you're living in a lower cost country, that the money you would make from this, from Airbnb your own personal house out, would well and truly cover rent, food, and a few other things in your lower cost country. Think Southeast Asia, think Latin America, think Eastern Europe. So clients have gone, okay, Scott, how difficult is it to actually do this? And look, we've just come back from our investment trip to a few countries around the world, but looking for some real estate. This is what I did. I Airbnb my house out. This is how I was able to afford doing it. I'm not a billionaire. And so how do we do this? How do you do this from afar? My thoughts are that you definitely need someone to manage it for you. Okay, look, if you're skilled at doing this, if you've run Airbnbs before as a person, if you've got a couple of Airbnbs, I think you'll be okay. You'll be able to manage the cleaners, you'll be able to manage the Airbnb website, you'll be able to manage anyone that, any little issues that happen, like, I don't know, maybe the plumber has to come in and fix a leaking tap or the toilet or something. I think you could do that from anywhere in the world, as long as you've got an internet connection and you're a bit diligent about replying to people. So I don't think it's a problem at all. The key there is the cleaner. The cleaner is your eyes on the ground. The cleaner is the person who will let you know if some plates have been broken or they've been stolen, or some sheets need replacing, or the property has just been left in a really terrible state. So that is the person that is really your manager on the ground, if you're going to then manage all everything else from afar. So find a good cleaner, pay them well. You'll definitely have enough money in this situation when you do this arbitrage to pay your cleaner well. But that's the key for me is the cleaner. However, if you said, look, when I'm overseas, I'm still working, I don't have time to then also, run my Airbnb, my house, like I'm doing 45 hours a week in front of the computer like I was. I was still running some businesses and, looking after my family at the same time. So we were lucky enough and fortunate enough that the real estate agent we use that does our standard residential leases on our property portfolio is also delving into running Airbnbs for their clients. So pretty much said to the real estate, hey, look, this property, it's our property. Here's what we need to do. They came around, they said, look, do this, this, and this. Remove all those personal effects. You don't want them lost. Bring this in, make it look like this. We'll send the photographer around. Yep, no worries. And then a couple of months before we leave, we're going to start putting it up on the net. We're going to have test the pricing and we're going to adjust as we see fit. So they're really good. They'll say, look, we're seeing a week where there's no one there. We might dial the price down a bit just to get some money in. They would organise and manage the cleaner, and they would also handle any other problems that might arise, like the gardener. Make sure the gardener's there. They have access, to our plumbers and electricians. They all know who they are and they can manage them very fast, just like they would with any landlords in their portfolio. So we were very fortunate. So if you've got that style of thing available to you from the people that already manage your properties, if you have some of that, or if you don't have any other investment properties and this will be your first time doing this, find out if there is one in town. Maybe go and have a look, see if there's an Airbnb, real estate does Airbnbs or short-term holiday rental. They might call it holiday rental. It's not just Airbnbs, things like Homestay and Stays. They might use all of those platforms to do that. So find out if there's one that does that, and just go and understand the fees and charges and understand who their cleaning team is and how fast they'll be on, to fix things that go wrong with the other tradesmen, but also how they're going to manage is the actual marketing on the website to make sure that it's really booked the whole time. We were gone 4.5, 5 months, and we basically only had 4 or 5 days empty, and we had to force days to be empty so that we could get cleaners in after some long stays. So that experience for us has been very good, and I could not have run it from overseas because I was working 45 hours a week easy from overseas, doing all the things of my lifestyle. When I wasn't doing that, we were kicking stones over, looking at real estate, trying to understand the real estate market in a couple of different countries, trying to understand legislative things and yields. For you would be retiring, sitting on a beach, doing yoga, getting massages, going scuba diving, you do all that sort of stuff. Maybe you don't want to manage your Airbnb yourself. You want to pay someone to do it who is basically a real estate agent, or someone who specializes in the Airbnb style leasing. Again, I really think the key is the cleaner, because they are there, like probably once or twice a week at least, and they have eyes on the ground, and they might know your expectations of things and how you would like them to be kept. So guys, that is how we do it, and this is probably my advice on this. This is a key component for people who are nervous about running 2 properties, when they're like, oh yeah, it's cheaper to live overseas, Scott, but by the time I take this into account, I'm not really, it's a bit hard. Well, if you do this Airbnb thing correctly, it should fund, accommodation, food, and a heap of other stuff, probably lifestyle as well, okay, if you do it right. Anyway guys, that's enough from me. Hope that answers the questions. We've had a lot of comments come through in relation to that. So that is our experience, and that is our advice, and I think a lot of people could replicate this when we try and look for ways to retire better, ways to retire with the lifestyle we actually want in a lower cost environment that is healthy or healthier and will extend your lifestyle. Anyway, that's enough from me. I will talk to you soon. Remember, life is a family sport. Give yours an edge. See ya.